Good morning, Celonauts, and welcome back to Munich, Germany. We're here at Celosphere. My name's Savannah Peterson, delighted to be bringing you all the exciting news when it comes to process intelligence and ROAI here from Germany in Bavaria, joined with Rob Strechay today. Rob, it is so good to be back at this show with you.
I love this show. I think the energy
so
is just incredible. We're fresh out of the keynote. It's been a crazy morning.
That's a fact.
I got to say, it's like one of the best keynotes I've seen in a while. Just the combination of customers discussing, like you were saying, the ROI of AI and really bringing it all together. With the culture of Celonis and having Maria Correa, who won the Nobel Peace Prize, live with her daughter, who happens to work for Celonis, on stage. That was incredible. So I'm blown away. Right at the
What
moment.
a way to start the show. Speaking of, I'm blown away by one of our favorite guests we've had on the show. Rudy, welcome back.
It's so great to be back. Really feels like a family reunion, not just with you guys, with all our customers, with all our partners. It's really so good to see everybody again in 3D.
Yes.
It absolutely is. And Rob, since you mentioned it, Rudy, could you give us a little recap of what just happened on the keynote stage and how powerful that was?
Wow, how should I summarize this? We just came out of the room, so we need to process, of course, what we have just seen. And for me personally, it was, very emotional moment to see, Okay.
Let it out.
Yeah,
we welcome tears. No, this is important. This is what matters about what we do.
Yeah, it absolutely does. I learned about the Nobel Prize when her daughter shared the video when she got the call from the Nobel Committee. Really, goosebumps, exactly.
My hair standing straight up on my arms right now.
Yeah, but let's focus maybe, it's about freedom, and we talked about free the process, we talked about how to free the data, that we, every company, every country, every company, everybody should have the possibility to develop, to be free, to use all the resources, everything, that's what it's all about. And talking about using the resources, we need to use the resources also to train AI, to make AI really work in an enterprise context. So, yeah, it was like the keynote backwards. So we started with, enterprise AI, use AI to fuel all the information you need to make it work. Then we talked about how customers are using it, how they are orchestrating, automating end-to-end processes, and we ended up with Freedom for Venezuela, which was really, really touching.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I thought was really good was the customers. You had Mercedes-Benz, you had Uniper, and you had Vinmar on, and those three were all in different places in their journey with process intelligence and with AI in particular. And Vinmar was definitely the furthest down the path of enabling AI with process intelligence. Kind of talk to how you've seen it, because that's just a microcosm of the customers.
It is, and and Vinmar is a fantastic case. I was personally involved in this project from the beginning, and they have really accomplished something extraordinary. So they have really transformed their 3 billion order-to-cash process with AI. So what they are really working...
Talk about scale.
Yeah, talk about scale. What they really do, they work on autonomous operations, autonomous processes. So they started by using process mining, process intelligence to understand the process, to get all the data, all the context data that is required to train AI. Then they use AI not to generate text and nice pictures, but really use AI to make decisions, and they use these decisions with the orchestration engine actually to execute on it. So, it's really get the insights, make the decision, and perform action, and that's how value is created.
It absolutely is, and speaking of, it's a buzzword, it's on every sign around here, ROAI. Can you break that down for us a little bit, because it's certainly the topic du jour in the technology industry.
It is. That in my personal reception, I think there are different levels or different categories of AI, and basically 3. The first one is what we are all using, Gen AI, text, pictures, music, whatever. It's fun. It makes us personally more efficient, but it doesn't really move the needle for the enterprise in terms of value.
Right.
The second is to use AI to process all the data and to help us to make better decisions or make decisions on its own. let's face it, it's like automation. We perform automation when we have repetitive, mundane, and rule-based tasks. But we also have decisions that are rule-based and repetitive and data-based. So why don't let AI make this decision, and then we need to take this decision and really perform something. So we have Gen AI to generate content, we have decisive AI to make decisions or support decisions by humans, from humans, and we have agentic AI.
It's okay, there's a lot of buzzwords in this game right now.
Yeah, and actionable AI actually to do something. And this is what really moves the needle in terms of value.
Yeah.
And we are entering this stage now, finally.
Yeah.
So is that going to lead us to an autonomous enterprise at some stage?
Oh my God, yeah, autonomous enterprise. Don't mention this word, no, seriously, I think autonomous enterprise, it's a very big vision. It's a little like colonizing the Mars,
Yeah.
How long will it take? How is it possible? Does it even make sense? I don't know.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't care.
But I think what was...
No, but wait a second, because on the way, we make great inventions. We create stuff that was not thinkable or not possible before. Like, the rockets landing on the platform again. So while we are working on these big vision autonomous enterprise, maybe think smaller, think about autonomous processes. That's what Vinmar is working on. Or think about autonomous operations. Just little tasks supported, performed, executed by AI, freeing the time of people to really care about exceptions, talking to people and doing things AI cannot do.
Yeah,
sorry.
I was going to lead right into that because I thought that was exactly it. Is you don't, as they say, you don't eat an elephant, or how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time kind of thing. You don't try to eat the whole thing at once. It is a saying. But when you look at it, I think what was also striking was, again, there was a little bit of the tech in there. It was very, Uniper went, the CIO was great. He was like very funny and very humble about, okay, now we're going to talk about tech a little bit and about how they're bringing different processes together and why they have to do it and why it has an impact not only on their company, but on the environment and how they operate and how they are more sustainable when they can use hydro versus petro. One of the other things that was really clear was that there's a lot going on in the partner ecosystem. There was the discussion of Databricks, there was Bloomfilter, there was Microsoft. Kind of help us understand and put that into context with how things have changed in the past year with that partner ecosystem.
Yeah. Well, it takes a village, to raise a kid, basically, and we see actually that our technology is very complementary to other technology like the co-pilots. We don't have our own AI, but we are complementary. Think about an employee. You hire someone for your company, and before you can really trust this person to make decisions and basically you really contribute to your processes, you need to educate this person. And that's exactly what we do with our proposition. That's what we do with the data. And we help AI understand what it's all about, and we use all these partners to do this job because they have this AI technology like Microsoft. We use in the orchestration, we use all kind of technology that is involved in executing the process. If you think about an average company, you will find something like at least 250 mission critical applications. And you need to orchestrate all of them. We talk a lot about SAP and all the other big ERP systems, but look into an ordinary company, there is so much more to get the job done. And we need partners who understand this technology, we need partners who provide this technology, partners who understand the processes, and we provide them with the right tools, to make enterprise AI basically work.
Which is extremely powerful. You have some of the coolest partners in the world. I'm curious, just because we're having this conversation, is there a dream partner that you wish you were working with right now?
Dream partner, oh my God.
Yeah. Maybe they're listening right now, you never know what happens from a CUBE segment. Or what does the ideal partner look like for you just in general? We can start there.
I think the idea, there's probably not the dream partner because there cannot be just one. Right? Because there are so many opportunities, there are so many industries, technologies, everything.
Right.
So there's not just one dream partner. We probably need different partners for different regions, industries, systems, applications, processes. And we need, really partners who are very passionate about efficiency, passionate about processes, who understand that processes are the foundation of everything we do, basically, and who share our passion in creating a better world.
Yeah, I think one of the things in kind of building off of that and freeing the process was also freeing the data from data silos. I think that was a big message earlier on. And it's one of the things that I focus on in my analyst side of my business hat that I have to wear. Where do you see, has that been like, it seems like that is, people are getting the idea that you shouldn't have to try to put everything all in one place. Like doing that is just near impossible.
It's impossible.
And are you seeing that your customers are starting to pick up on that as well? And understand that you got to bring it together?
If you look into business processes, it's impossible to have all the data in one silo. It just doesn't work. And more important, you are never alone in your process. You have partners, not only internally, but also externally. Think about Mercedes-Benz, think about BMW. Their processes are heavily connected with customers, with suppliers, with other companies. So you need to move the data or to have access to the data from all the different places. You need to make this data work, otherwise your process won't work. So if you lock up your data, you can lock up your process, shut down your business and go home.
Might as well just throw in the towel at this point. Rudy, we had a really fun chat last year, and I asked you about what processes in your own personal life that you've made more efficient. We talked about your socks.
We talked about socks, yes, I remember.
We talked about your socks, which was great though, because I think it's very illuminating. And one of the things that we were talking about before we were live this morning is really how much Celonis has matured this year. And there was a lot going on last year, but there's a clear step change in evolution and the maturity of the projects you have going on with partners, the ROAI that you're realizing. So I'm curious, what other processes in your personal life have you automated or made more efficient since the last time we spoke?
Oh my God, I'm an automation guy, so...
This is why I'm asking you.
Yeah, I know, I love automation. So my personal passion project is it's very personal. It's the expansion of our house, and I have incorporated over 500 smart home devices in my house.
500?
Yes, over 500.
500.
So everything is connected, everything is orchestrated.
We have to go to Rudy's house next time.
Wow.
Everything is orchestrated, each light, each socket, each switch. There are air quality sensors in the house, controlling the ventilation, making sure the CO2 concentration is low, so you get the best sleep you can get. It's challenging because not everything works the way it should, and my wife is sometimes yelling because she's standing in the shower and the light switches off, so I still have some work to do. But it's really, I think it's living is a process as well, being in the house is a process as well, and you can make your home very, very efficient. Like, the solar panels on the roof are controlled by a central system connected to the wall boxes from my electric vehicles, charging the vehicles only if there's energy left over, and really organizing, orchestrating, automating the house.
Oh my gosh,
sorry, that's really very, very
I'm
personal.
so glad I asked. First of all, 500 IoT devices. I'm not sure I know anyone with that many.
I was going to say, I think I'm close to 100, but it's like, I can't even imagine
You're speechless.
500.
You're a little scared.
That is impressive.
Yeah, we can have a separate discussion.
Yeah, but we can. But I think what's interesting is, we're getting right to the end of 2025 now. We're looking out to 2026. What do you see as kind of the big thing that we'll be talking about next year from a process intelligence perspective that you think customers are going to come along?
It's really about making enterprise AI work. That's the slogan, that's what we are talking about, but it's really the big thing. And if we say to make it work, what does it mean? We talked about the Gen AI, decisive AI, actionable AI, and if you also look at our portfolio. So for me, there's the question is there like a universal formula how to create value? And I believe there is. value is not equal to insights. Insights is only like the picture of a broken arm. You know exactly where pain comes from, but if you are sent home with the picture only and best wishes for the future, you still have a problem.
Ouch.
Ouch,
Yeah.
exactly, ouch.
Yeah.
So you need something, you need treatment, something needs to happen, so action needs to happen. And I know it's a little bit theoretical, but it's not an addition, because if you have like 10 insights plus 0 actions in an addition, this would be 10 value. Yeah. It's not the case. So it's more like a multiplication. You need to multiply your insights with actions, and actually you need to add another factor, you need to add decisions. So it's insights times decisions times actions equal value. And if you look at our portfolio, insights, that's what we generate with process intelligence. Decisions is what we enable with, we enable humans to make decisions, AI with humans or AI alone, and action is what we perform with automation and orchestration. So we have all the tools there, basically to create value for the customers. And you just heard it in the keynote, $8.1 billion from 120
yeah,
changemakers
plus,
only?
Yeah.
So this is real money. And just a personal note, value is more than just money.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah,
I'm glad you brought it up.
It's customer satisfaction, it's also sustainability. If you are able to reduce your CO2 footprint just because your logistics works, that's also value. So that's more than just money, but other stuff is sometimes hard to measure.
Yeah, and I would say that the Vinmar example, when he talked about it with the family business and how they brought their people, the people part of AI along, and how they're not replacing people, but they're enhancing people, that to me was so powerful, and how he wrapped that around. And he talked about it, change is hard. And I think that was really good.
It is actually a pattern we see with many customers that, let me tell you about one of our customers in Spain. So they had like a lot of credit blocks. So customers are ordering products, not all invoices are paid, and the question is, should we deliver or should we block this order? If we deliver, we take a risk. If we block the order, well, customer will be unhappy and sales will be unhappy, so you should really make a good decision. And we train the AI to make this decision, or basically to propose the decision to the people in the finance department. And if you realize that 99% of the time they are following the recommendation, especially if it's about, yes, delete the credit block, deliver the goods, you will be fine. The customer will pay based on the past. Then it's good. But if AI decides, okay, we are not going to deliver, we block this order, okay, then humans need to take over, they need to talk to the customer, they need to talk to sales, they need to resolve the situation, and really make sure that customer understand why we are not delivering and maybe pay the invoice so they get the products. So if AI delivers, let's say, the expected outcome, then just follow up automatically. Mm-hmm. And if there's an exception, then let humans take over and manage it.
Humans are the exception. That's going to be one of the themes of this week,
yep,
as well as Freedom. Final closing question for you, Rudy, because time has just flown by. What would your advice be to someone who is maybe just learning about Celonis today through some of this programming, or just saw this keynote, and that could be, I'm going to make it real broad for you. This could be a partner, this could be a potential recruit for working on your team. What's your words of wisdom?
My words of wisdom?
Yes.
I'm in this business now for 16 years, so even longer than Celonis exists. And one thing I realized, I was a business consultant in my previous life, and when you ask people, tell me how does the process look like, what's really going on, you never get the truth, simply because people don't know, or they don't want you to know what the situation is.
100%.
So for me personally, really process mining changed the way I'm asking questions. So I'm not asking, tell me how does the process look like. I know what the process is based on the data. It's sometimes not completely, it's sometimes not complete, but it's completely true. And then I ask, why is it like that? So from how to why. That's the biggest difference. And once you understand, what the situation is, you are really talking, it's fact-based, you can ask the right questions, and people cannot hide anymore. And sometimes they don't know what the process really is, so it's not like they don't want you to know, sometimes they simply don't know. And if you really want to start, we have this fantastic academy content on the internet. A customer just recently told me that no other company in this space is offering such a vast majority or vast amount of content. You can really learn from starting and really become an expert just by our online academy. So go there and learn.
Get started. I love it, Rudy.
Started.
We learn a lot from you every year. I really appreciate you taking the time today.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
I can't think of a better way to start the show. Rob, we're going to have a great week.
It is. I'm excited.
It is exciting. And I hope all of you are as excited as we are here in Munich, Germany at Celosphere. My name is Savannah Peterson. You're watching theCUBE, the leading source for enterprise tech news.